Hello, I'm Dr. James Lamb and I'm a lecturer and researcher in the Centre for Research in Digital Education and the Edinburgh Futures Institute at the University of Edinburgh. And I'm looking forward to joining the CDN Researcher Development Programme on the 19th of November when I'll be talking about some of my research. The easiest way of describing my research is to say that I'm interested in the ways that digital technologies affect education. So, for instance, I'm interested in how digital technologies affect those settings where learning takes place, including the ways that digital technologies increasingly enable learning and teaching to happen beyond conventional classrooms and campuses. Also in my research, I've advanced the case for multimodal assessment and multimodal feedback. I'm interested in hybrid teaching and learning. I've used social media to track shifting attitudes towards lecture capture technologies. And I'm also really interested in the ways that music and sound affect learning. A good deal of this work is affected by post-digital thinking. And what post-digital thinking does for my work is it provides a more nuanced, critical way of thinking about the relationship between education and technology. So rather than viewing emerging technologies as sweeping away more conventional and traditional approaches, Postdigital instead sees them as weaving together, and that's very helpful when we're trying to think about how we respond to emerging technologies and some of the anxieties that we can sometimes have around how they affect education. The nature of the work that I do sometimes involves taking more experimental approaches to research. So, for instance, I've used music playlists to explore the learning practices of students. I've used postcards to help me understand where learning takes place beyond the classroom and campus. I've used walking seminars and walking experiments to understand how the city exists as a learning site. And at the current time, I'm using visual methods to think about how we might conceive the future classroom. So in the session on the 19th, I'm going to be talking about what I think post-digital can bring to research around education and other areas, and then I'll go on and talk about some of the experimental approaches to research that I've just described here. So thank you for watching this short introduction, and perhaps you might join me on the 19th of November.